Good morning, everyone. Hi, how are we? Okay. Oh my goodness. The time's been flying. Just flying along. So we're going to, today we're going to work with doing, working with some portobello mushrooms. And so the portobello mushrooms, oh my gosh, I always have so much fun with the camera. It's cutting off my head, but that's okay as long as it doesn't keep shifting. Yeah, the fun of Facebook Live when you're doing it live and by yourself, it's always fun to work with the camera. Anyways, okay, so what we're going to do is put together some portobello sesame ginger. Hey, Monique, how's the course going? Yes, the course is more hours than I thought. It's supposed to be like a part-time course, Monday, Tuesday, and then an additional 15 hours. So, yeah, so the course is going really well. For those of you that don't know, I'm taking a course at Royal Roads University, and it is leadership through change. And so, you know, how to work with the changes that are going on at this particular time, and yeah, and change through anything. So a lot of working with, you know, it's based on companies and that kind of thing, and helping people go through change and stress and all that kind of thing, because we're all going through that right now. And so lots of stuff, as you know, going on with the wow, this is a big onion skin. So lots of change and stress going on, you know, throughout the world right now. And so this is like leadership through change, or managing through change, and so to be able to help people, you know, in different various methods of doing the best they can through this change. So it's been very, very interesting and very good. Yeah, I'm learning a lot of, you know, just the ways that you can be useful and how you can be of assistance during these times. So it's really, really good. You know, really, I'm only, this is the second week, so I'm only like 2 weeks into it. So, but it's really, really useful. So I'm taking notes along the way to be able to share with you guys. But right now, you know, my head's kind of swimming with all the different things that need to be done to organize those thoughts. Like I'm working with some clients at the same time, so I am doing some health issues with some clients of mine that need some help. And I'm also, it seems like everything at once, right? I'm also working with some clients for iridology. For those of you that don't know, I've been teaching iridology for 25 years now. And so all of a sudden, everything got busy all at the same time. And so I'm doing the iris analysis and the, you know, working with people's health challenges right now. And I guess, yeah, I guess it's just that busy time where things are popping up. And, you know, I think that happens every year during this time, especially January, you know, when we're right in the months of no sunshine, and people are just like, you know, really getting sort of like as if we weren't housebound enough, you know, they're getting really, I don't want to say claustrophobic, but, you know, just really needing something different, some sun. And thankfully it's been a little bit sunny lately, so that's been helpful. But I think people's health issues do tend to manifest more in the winter months, right? Because we're not outside in the garden, and less to do and less to be distracted by, and for many people less active, which, you know, I don't really have that problem, but because we live on an acreage, so I'm, you know, out doing things like, you know, helping with wood and you know, all the different things that there are to do when you have a big property. So, so the course has been very good with that, and also will be helping me with my clients in a supportive emotional way as well as physical way, right? Working with different things. So things that have been coming up have been, I'm just going to get these sauteing. I should have put this on a little higher. I'm using the onions in a sort of a random cut because I'm going to put them with the portobellos, and I want it kind of chunky. So I always like to get the onions, you know, sauteed a little bit more. Although they're really, I mean, way better for you raw. Everything's way better for you raw. But I'm gonna grab a pepper here. Maybe I'll take this one. Here's a little more ripe. Yeah, but I do prefer them just, you know, flavor-wise, and you know, I just like them cooked a little bit more. So I'm going to add these peppers to it. So the onions, of course, are anti-inflammatory. For those of you that haven't been watching my Facebook, pretty much everyone that watches all the time knows now that onions are anti-inflammatory. They are antihistamine as well, really good for any kind of, if you were to get a bee sting or something like that and you rub onion on it, it will help with the antihistamine properties to bring that swelling down. And you know, they used to use onions a lot as a poultice to pull things out too, you know, kind of using those antihistamine qualities as well as drawing out qualities. So I'm going to add some, you know what, maybe I'm just going to not chop these. I'm going to carry on with the long style cut, whatever that is. As you know, if you've been watching this Facebook Live, I'm not a professional cook at all. I'm a natural health consultant and a certified herbalist, and I do teach and do iridology. So the Facebook Live is really about just hanging out, sharing information, and sharing recipes, which I am simply sharing healthy, easy, usually 15-minute recipes that I do for myself, for ourselves, I should say. And I'm not a professional cook at all. So, yeah. So the recipes are really good, but do it your own way, and if you know a better way, go for it. Okay, so I'm going to throw these peppers in. And I'm wearing the glasses that are shiftable. So they're shifting. So, yeah, so the onions are anti-inflammatory. The red peppers are, they've got vitamin A, vitamin C. You know, it's nice in the summer because you can for sure get them organic, but a lot of times what I'll do is I will get them in the summer, and then when they're organic, and then I'll dehydrate them, which I do often. But in this particular recipe, I'm going to use fresh peppers, and it's pretty hard to get them organic right now unless somebody knows of some that are organic in the stores right now. I haven't been able to find them. So I'm just giving them really good energy, and my camera's going back down again, and giving them really good energy, and I know that the benefits of the peppers outweigh anything that might not be totally organic. So they do have vitamin A, vitamin C, they've got potassium, iron, I think they have folates, and so anyways, okay, and then I am going to, next thing I'm going to add is some ginger, which is super awesome. Ginger's really good as a circulatory herb. It helps with circulation, it helps with cold hands and feet. Most people know that it will, I want it to touch the pan so it starts releasing its juice. It'll help with nausea, indigestion, helpful with your stomach. You know, if you get ginger in a capsule, it will, like, if you take 4 ginger capsules, that's what I find to really stop my nausea. If I tend to get not really car sick, but air sick. You know, I've gotten sick on BC ferries, believe it or not. So motion sickness has been kind of a thing for me. And 4 capsules of ginger is like perfect. It doesn't really matter, you know, like if I'm on a boat or something, the ginger's great. Really good. When you do it in that high of a dose, it will actually ward off and get rid of a cold or fluish, you know, kinds of things, because it is antibacterial, antiviral, has all of those benefits as well. So your ginger can do a lot more than what you think it can, and antifungal as well. It does so many things. It's great in a foot soak to bring circulation to your feet. The other thing you can use, which I'll put a little bit in here for circulation for your feet, is cayenne. Is really good too for circulation, headaches, migraines, all that kind of things. It opens up the blood vessels. Oh, Costco has the organic peppers. Oh my gosh. You know, I'm sorry to say, I don't know if I'm sorry to say or not, actually, but I haven't been to Costco since the whole pandemic started. And so, so if anybody I know is going and they want to pick up some organic peppers for me, that would be awesome. I just haven't gone out of town. I haven't really gone very far at all. And so, I think I need to move this camera up because I could see it keeps going down and down, and there we go. That's a little better. Okay, not cutting my head off too much. It still is. Oh my gosh. I didn't have this problem. Like, we've been doing the Facebook Live for about, that's a little better. We're doing the Facebook Live since March, so like 10 months, and I really, only this last couple of weeks, my camera keeps going around, so I must have something not adjusted right. Anyway, okay, so back to the peppers, the ginger. We talked about the cayenne and the benefits of cayenne. I'm going to add some sesame seeds to this. Really good for any of your nuts and seeds, especially sprouted, are so good for the glands, right? The nuts and seeds, especially seeds and beans and seeds. That's what I'm thinking about. Beans and seeds, especially, they're like the glands of the plants, and so they feed your own glands, and so they're helpful for the pituitary, thyroid, pancreas, adrenals. Like any of your glands, the soaked nuts and seeds are even more powerful, like a superfood. And so, super important if you have an imbalance in your glands, whatever that might be. Did I cut the end off this? I don't think I did. I did wash everything. Wash your hands. Make sure everything's super clean. And of course, we're doubly washing during these times. Okay, it's time to throw these guys in like this, and I'm going to add a little bit more water. Yeah, so your nuts and your seeds, and speaking of which, oh, I had another thing I wanted to show you guys. I just saw it right here. Speaking of the ginger for the nausea and those kinds of things, another thing that I depend on, like, I don't go anywhere without this. I do work with homeopathy as well. I have for 25 years. And homeopathy is amazing. I know a lot of people haven't heard of it, or they don't really understand how it works, and I have other videos on that. But there are thousands of homeopathic remedies for every little thing, whether it's physical, emotional, whatever's going on. This particular one, I don't go anywhere without it. I was involved in a major food poisoning event at a wedding with 150 people that got sick, like seriously ill, like very, very, and I have not been the same since. I'm very, very sensitive to any kind of bacteria or anything that's off in food, so I am pretty picky about what I eat, but it doesn't really, like, you're going to run into things, right? So I would say on an average my intestine was so destroyed that it's never been the same, and so about once a month I'll run into some little bacteria, whoever that guy was, you know, that started the whole problem, and for whatever reason I'll run into something, and I know when that cramping starts. This is a lifesaver. It's called coli bacillinum, and it's homeopathic remedy. So it's the coli bacillinum is obviously to suggest that it's helpful for coli bacteria type things, right? Within 10 minutes of taking this, 20 tops, they're just 3 little tiny pellets, and the cramping's gone and you're good. I carry one of these, actually, to be honest, I carry 2 of these in my wallet, and I sleep with one under my pillow. That's how sensitive I am, and this stuff is a lifesaver. I would never be without it. But the homeopathic remedies are for everything. They have homeopathic remedies for nausea. They have homeopathic remedies for snake bites, spider bites, bee stings, gallbladder issues, intestinal issues. They're for everything. There are thousands of remedies based on whatever it is that bothers you, whether it's emotional or physical. Homeopathy is like an amazing thing, so if you haven't heard about it, there is a remedy out there for you, whatever that might be. Homeopathy for glandular issues, pancreas, adrenal, thyroid, support. It's too much to go into as to how it works right here and now, but definitely, it definitely works. And that particular one is, like I said, I will absolutely not be without it, because I have such food sensitivities to whatever that bacteria was. My body is like on the alert for just a sniff of that particular bacteria is enough to send me into cramping spasms. So yeah, so there's always something that you can do for whatever your health issues are. And right now I'm working with some people who have some pretty serious things going on, and there's always a way of balancing the body in a natural way to support what it's going through, to help it to either heal or maintain that balance, or assist you in being as functional as you can be with whatever's going on. So there's always something, like your body's always trying to heal itself, right? You cut yourself, it heals itself. It's always trying to repair the damage. So if you give it some tools to help with that damage, then you'd be very surprised at how well the body will respond. So you have to be willing to work with that. And many times people are used to just taking, a painkiller or an Advil or whatever it is, or antacid or whatever it is, and just fixing the issue right now. But what's really important is to figure out why that issue started happening and why it occurred. And then when you're working from that angle, you can actually start to go back to reversing the layered symptoms or the layered conditions that led up to the symptoms, right? So yeah, so just I just happen to be on that because I'm working with so many people right now with different things, and working with them with blood work and iridology and symptoms and all that kind of thing. So I'm going to add some sesame sauce here, or sesame oil. Okay, so that gives us a nice sesame with the sesame seeds in there. And speaking of nuts and seeds and glands and sprouts, see the little radish sprouts? So you guys saw me start this. When did I start this? Like, this is almost 2 weeks. And they've been growing, and I've been using a little, and I think eating them straight up is best, but you can put them in a salad. I have put some in the salad. And the alfalfa sprouts specifically have like your, any kind of sprouts is like a superfood, but it has B6. It has B6, chlorophyll, obviously good for the blood, niacin, what's that other one? B6 is is pantothenic acid. There's another one that's not coming to me. Anyway, super good for you. Awesome to sprout, and it's easy. Just put it in a jar, rinse it out, and these are radish sprouts, so they're really nice and spicy just to have on their own as a just a really nice treat, like biting into a radish. or you can add them to your salads and whatever else. But don't cook them. Because that's the whole idea, is to have them raw, fresh, full of enzymes, and so good for you. So these are coming along nicely. So far all we have is let me think. Is the sesame seed oil. So we're going to add some Bragg's liquid aminos, which is kind of like a soy sauce-ish, but this one's natural soy sauce alternative. It used to be naturally fermented. I don't know if it is anymore, but gluten-free. And so you could use any kind of soy sauce. I'm going to add some granulated garlic for that. We did add a little bit of cayenne, and we added the ginger. We could add, I always love to add turmeric, but it all depends, right? It'll turn the whole thing orange, which is, I mean, if you don't care, that's super awesome, because the turmeric has the anti-inflammatory properties from the curcumin. And curcumin is becoming more and more important for, so many different diseases. Like, it's just super anti-inflammatory. I read some stuff on it just recently, some new information that's so new I forgot what it was. But it was to do with the virus and the COVID and the immune response, and to do with the immune system. Anyways, I'll find that article again and let you know. But anyways, I do know that it is anti-inflammatory, good for the immune system, and the curcumin is really, really important. So, I'm wanting to say something about quercetin. But anyways, look it up. These are the things that we need to do when, we need to, if you hear something and you just look at it, for myself, I tend to forget. And unless I apply it to a situation and can put it in a different context to where it means something to me. So when you hear about something, it's so important to do that, to follow it up and look for it, and then you start to remember, right? And it's so beneficial. Like, I know it's good for you, and really that's all I care about. But in a certain situation, if it's the very best thing, I remember. It came back. I came back. Okay, here we go. You gotta love it when you're that old and you let it go, you let it fly away, and then all of a sudden it comes back. Okay, the curcumin, super important. I added it. How could I forget? I added it to my a specific skin cream that I made up for a client that was dealing with a particular foot issue, cracks in your heels and skin and that kind of thing. That's where the curcumin came in as being like in the top 5 of things to put into the salve, and that's what it was. So I did put the curcumin in, and of course, or the turmeric, and of course it turns the cream yellow, which could lead to a little bit of staining. But if you have, a real issue, you're not going to care. Just put some socks on that you don't care if they turn yellow, and away you go. So yeah, that's what it was. The curcumin for a skin. This maple syrup I'm putting in. Curcumin and turmeric for skin conditions, which I wasn't used to using it for that, and I didn't realize the importance or the value of that, how it worked. I can see some more people have come on here, but I have these funny little glasses on. I can't see who you are. So hi, I'm going to assume it's Jane and Darlene and maybe Terry and everybody. And I know Minnick's here with me, helping with fantastic information. Okay, so I am going to heat this up later for dinner, so I'm going to turn it off now. But I kind of want to show you the sauce. So I've added ginger, maple syrup, sesame oil, Bragg's liquid aminos, which is like a teriyaki, and I'm going to add a little bit of tapioca starch to just thicken it up a bit. And I was sure that I had a little glass here. So I prefer the tapioca starch to cornstarch, because I figure Well, corn's just not good for you. It's just been so genetically modified. It's really hard to know if it's organic or not. And corn's in everything. It's kind of like sugar. It sneaks into everything. So when I don't have to use corn, I use the tapioca starch instead, because I figure we get enough corn, and when I want to eat corn, I will eat it in tortilla chips and popcorn. So yeah, just a little note on corn. It's one of those. It tends to have, especially fresh, has fungal, things. It all depends on your health and what you're dealing with, right? So if you have that's another thing I'm working on is foot fungus cream. If you have a fungal issue, eating corn's not really the best thing for you to do. And you can look that up and find out more about that too. Okay, so I'm adding a little bit of tapioca starch and water, and I'll just add that. If I need to add more water, I will. So this is just to thicken up the sauce and make it a little bit more. You can see how it's getting, can you see how it's getting a really nice thickness to the sauce. Okay, so that's just about perfect. When I make something like this, I'm always, if you look at my Instagram and my YouTube channel, I have hundreds and hundreds of pictures on my Instagram and hundreds of recipes on my YouTube channel. I'm always like looking at the color, and it's like, oh, it's just orange and brown. So this needs some green, and I don't happen to have anything green right now, but what I would do, and what I probably will do, is turn it off. But what I'll do is I could add, I'm tempted to add these sprouts, but I don't want to ruin them by cooking, is get some green onions. I might have some left in the garden. Actually, I'll tell you, I have a couple things I'm going to show you real quick. I have a green onion. I grew it in a little glass. So you could add this, but I think I do have some like decent sized ones in the garden. But that's super cool because I just stuck the little onion in here, and I've been growing it and cutting it off and growing it and cutting it off. And when I need just a little bit of green onion, like on a baked potato or something, then it's there. The other thing that's really cute and coming along, it really does work, right? You've got your little romaine lettuce, and I just put it in a little bit of water, and I'm growing a brand new romaine lettuce. So I'm not sure how big it'll get. I am going to put this one into soil because it's coming along pretty good. And then another little green onion coming up here. So you can do that. There's all kinds of on the internet, all kinds of grow your own vegetables from your scraps and all that kind of stuff. So, but it really does work. So, so I'll add some green onion to that just to get the green color in. The other thing, that might be kind of fun would be to add some purple onion, but you have to put it in pretty fresh, otherwise the purple is going to turn, just brown, because once you cook red onion or purple onion, it just turns that color. So, so that's it for today. I look forward to your comments and questions, and we'll see you tomorrow morning at 11, and I think that's pretty much the schedule from my course. Looks like I'm like super crazy busy Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so I will see you guys Thursdays and Fridays, as far as I know. Anyways, okay, thank you for coming and hanging out. It was really fun. Let me know about your comments and questions, and we will see you tomorrow morning at 11. Okay, have a really good day.